Today, let us look at improving on our self-image. We have been saying that man was created in the image and the likeness of God. And truly, we need to do something to improve on our self-image. Number one, I would like us to look at self-discipline as a very key factor in improving on our self-image. The minute that you are able to say no to things that do not appeal to the true image that you are meant to be, the image that you would like yourself to be projected to the community, to your family, to your employer, to your networks, the minute that you take care of self-image by being self-disciplined, this is where you don't need anybody to check on what you're doing at any one point. It is where you rule yourself, you lead yourself, you influence yourself towards what is not counterproductive. Self-discipline is one way of making you improve on your self-image. Self-discipline is very key because it calls for total surrender to yourself. You sign a contract with yourself, not with your wife, not with your employer, not with your pastor, but with yourself, that these are things that are going to do under no coercion, because I know the benefit that comes from it, and the benefit is improving my self-image. Self-discipline is very key and very, very important, and it is all based on the value system that is in you as an individual. The other point is the aspect of self-evaluation. For your image to improve, you need to constantly do some evaluation on yourself. People call yourself for a meeting. Look at what is not going on well in your life. And this is so much dependent on the feedback that you get from the environment. There is that which people are saying, I don't like about it. Do not get into the syndrome of saying, that is my weakness, and there is nothing I can do about it. Indeed, for your self-image to be improved, self-evaluation is a must. And this is where you meet with yourself and you ask yourself, why are people talking about this? Why is my wife complaining about this at all times? Why is my son, why is my daughter pinpointing an issue in me? Could there be something that is very wrong? Self-evaluation is very important as a tool of improving your self-image. Keep on looking at yourself against the feedback that you are getting. Many times, we just justify our weaknesses. Yet, that is feedback that comes from our surrounding, and it can help us improve on our image. Remember, our self-image is not a personal issue. It is actually what you project to the community and the people that you interact with. So the better the image, the better you are, and the better interactions you will have with the environment. Number 3, I would like us to have a self-talk as another way of improving our self-image. After having evaluated yourself, after looking at what the environment is giving as feedback, you talk to yourself. And this is where you make declarations. And you simply say, there is 1 or 2 things that I would not like to identify with. There is a talk I don't want to identify with. There is a look I don't want to identify with. There is a drink I don't want to identify with. There is a eating that I'm not going to be identified with. That which you don't want to identify with, simply because it is destroying your self-image. You simply talk to yourself. I advocate going in front of a mirror and speaking to that person who is yourself and say, you are not going to do this and the other. Make declarations to yourself, because a habit that is acquired is a habit that can be denied, that can be dropped. And if the environment is not very, very conducive, you simply can engage somebody else for accountability. You can get an accountability partner. You can get somebody you can tell what you are struggling with, and you simply tell that person to hold you accountable. Probably after a week, after a month, go sit down with that particular person. Give accountability. Make a call. Let this person be vulnerable to this person. And you see how far it can go, because a self-talk will lead to a better self-image. Lastly, the self-accountability. You be accountable to yourself. When you are doing things where nobody is seeing you, where nobody can suspect that it is happening, do you remember that you are accountable to yourself? Because the image is your image. It is not your mother's image. It is not your husband's image. It is not your wife's image. It is your image. And one way of improving on it, internally and externally, is by doing self-accountability. Hold yourself accountable for every spending. Hold yourself accountable over every relationship. Hold yourself accountable over any talk, any word that comes out of your mouth, any journey, any trip that you make, any congregation that you get to. Hold yourself accountable. Who are your affiliates? Who are the people that are your very close influencers? Hold accountable to yourself about the same. And lastly, I would like to say that your personal devotion with God is actually the basis of having a good self-image. Because remember, you are created in the image and the likeness of God. And therefore, what you talk to yourself, when you evaluate yourself, and all that you do, as I have mentioned, it is all about pleasing your Maker, living a life to serve mankind, a life to be productive, and a life to give glory to God. And I would say we are sons of God. And when we are sons of God, then we carry the image of God. Remember, our self-image is not just our self-image, it is the image of God made manifest in our lives. Thank you. Thank you.